Bitcoin buyers, Bitcoin investors, we have a lot to dive into in this video. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price forecast right now as it relates to where we are. We've been consolidating here actually for about a week. And if there's one thing we know about Bitcoin is we don't trade sideways for very long. And what we always say is after we see this consolidation, we're either going to get a price breakout or we're going to get a price breakdown or a breakdown in the price. Either way, we could take advantage of this. Obviously, Bitcoin has exceeded a lot of people's expectations here leading up to the halving. It's been interesting because a lot of people are waiting for this big dip that usually comes before the halving. We haven't seen it yet. Will we see it? We're going to try to get at these questions. Keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. We're all speculating here. None of us have a silver bullet answer, crystal ball, if you will. We're all just trying to make sense of everything. I will say this, and the front end of all of this discussion that we're going to dive into in this video is the fact that I've been buying a little bit of Bitcoin since April 2022, every single day. So my strategy with Bitcoin is very simple. Buy it, don't sell it right now, right? And on red days, we add a little bit more, right, to that purchase, especially days where it goes down $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Because if you know anything about Bitcoin and crypto, it's very volatile. It can happen, but you can't let that shake you out of the market, right? You can't let that break you. Bitcoin to start 2023 was $15,000. All we heard was, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going to zero. It's going to 10,000, 5,000. I'll buy Bitcoin when it's $0 again. Well, we went from 15,000 now to $52,000. So if there's a couple things I've learned being in crypto for the last 3 years, expect the unexpected, right? Take in all the information, but at the end of the day, nobody knows, right? We're all just trying to make sense of it. There is one thing I do like to do, though, and that is really look at the experts and their opinions. Real quick, before we dive into an expert opinion that I really, really like, this is what Bitcoin looks like right now on the daily time frame. And this is what I've been saying, right? After the big breakout on Valentine's Day, actually, about 6 days ago, where we spiked up to about $52,000. We have been basically trading sideways here. The 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Okay. We did get a nice little momentum up here on our trading indicator back on the 8th. Since that time frame, Bitcoin's up 14% in the last 12 days. Absolutely loving using this indicator. Real quick plug. This is my company, XT Algo. You can also jump on board with this. Unbelievably easy to use. Unbelievable price standpoint. It's actually a huge discount off the prices you see on screen, 21% off. So it's $37 a month, $90 a quarter, and $399 a year. Links down below. This is the cheapest indicator out on the market. It's just as good as anything out there too. And it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I'm very passionate about it. Check it out. Links down below if you're interested. But I do want to dive into the Bitcoin price forecast. Okay. And is Bitcoin going to 60 or is it going down to 48? That's where a lot of people are kind of looking at right now, because again, we're either going to get a price break out or a price breakdown here in the near term. I really believe that because again, we don't consolidate and just hang in the balance forever. So bear with me. I want to kind of give you guys some scenarios, and Michael Van de Pope, probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite analyst to kind of look at, had some great things to discuss here. So short-term analysis shows that Bitcoin's position at 52,000 is a very crucial price point with resistance cut out at 52,800. And we've seen ourselves get rejected there at 52.8 just today, actually. We got up there and then quickly got rejected. Look at this. We came all the way up to about 52.9. Take a look at the 1 hour here. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Look at this. That is huge volatility, right? We broke out and looked like, oh my gosh, we're going to go and track up to 53. And we might have actually wicked up to 53 just for a minute. And now we're all the way back down to 51.6. And we wicked down to 51.4. Crazy volatility just in the last couple hours. But this is showing us that there's a lot of resistance here up there near 53,000. In this case, 52.8. Now, the 4-hour candle close below this level, 52,000 on Monday, that's yesterday, implied that sellers cannot be underestimated. And again, this is short term, okay? With another close below it, larger dips will start to become apparent, bringing the traders' attention to support at 48,000. This is coming from Michael Van de Pope. So if we close below 52K today, which all of a sudden we've dipped below 52K, even though we were at 53 here within the last couple hours. If that happens, the likelihood, Pope argues, is that we'll see a $48,500 to $49,500 Bitcoin in this $1,000 range is a range to watch. Now, it says while such a flush drop might not sit well with people already moving with momentum of pre-halving rally, recent market behavior has revealed that dips could be eaten up quickly with Bitcoin propped to resume the uptrend after collecting fresh liquidity. We'll come right back to this, but I'll tell you guys this. If this happens, I'm going to be a big buyer of Bitcoin under 50K. I do agree that if we do come down to these levels, we've seen buyers come in. All I'm saying is the likelihood of some type of breakout or breakdown exists right now, given we've had 6 days of consolidation. I'm ready to take full advantage if we get that little bit of a price drop that Michael Van de Pope thinks is somewhat feasible if we don't go ahead and close over that crucial level of 52,000. Okay. If we stay below 52,000, the more and more likely it is that we see a $48,000 to $49,000 Bitcoin. Now, how about on the other side of the perspective? Well, if we take a look at this, if we take a look at the other side of it, an incoming buy signal from the moving average convergence divergence, or MACD, would be another signal for the uptrend continuation. This call to buy BTC would manifest with a blue MACD line crossing above the red signal, and that's the 20-day moving average closely trailing the price can be used to back this bullish theory. In case of a correction below 52K, Bitcoin's price will have a chance to stabilize ahead of another rebound. Overall, really looking strong with Bitcoin heading closer and closer to this halving. We've seen BlackRock come in and just buy Bitcoin in droves. It has been insane, actually, to watch how much money has inflowed and poured in to these Bitcoin ETFs. It has absolutely blown expectations out of the water, guys. The expectations were that we would see the amount of money that's poured in by the end of 2024. We've seen that come in a month. Okay. So that's how crazy things have been, considering how much money we were expecting to see flow in. We thought this would be a lot slower. We thought this would be very much delayed, but people are pouring in. And there's still a ton of people on the institutional side and looks like my mic was cut out there for a minute. There's still a lot of people waiting to get in, which is a really, really good sign overall, right? Because it shows us that we're still so early ahead of this next Bitcoin halving. The thing that, I want to kind of highlight overall, what makes Bitcoin so different this go around, and just overall where we are in the process. Bitcoin is going to be going through not only a supply shock, because more and more Bitcoin is being offloaded off exchanges. If there's no Bitcoin on exchanges, that is super bullish for the price. People are locking it away. Tons and tons and tons of people have not interacted with their Bitcoin for years and years and years, which is unbelievable for the price. So not only are we going through a supply shock, but now with the ETS, right? And with the big institutional players feeling quote unquote comfortable getting in, we're also going to be going through a demand shock. And very rarely do we find an asset where we have both a supply and a demand shock at the same time. And that's what's going on right now with Bitcoin. There's no other asset that you can say that about in the world right now. And many people across the board are looking at the last 12 years historically and saying, wow, Bitcoin has absolutely annihilated gold in the last 12 years. Maybe there is a case here that Bitcoin is the new gold. After all, we are going and moving, and we've been moving in this direction of digital everything, right? Think about it. I mean, there's restaurants that you can go to that they're like, yep, we don't even accept cash here. Go to a sporting event, try to pay with cash. You can't, right? So a lot of times you got to just zoom out and look at where the world is. Again, I always say this, I look at some technical things, but I'm more of a macro investor. I'm more of like I like to analyze things, understand human behavior. That's kind of my background. That's where I come from. And the human behavior side of things is people don't carry cash. They're not spending cash. They're swiping their credit card. We're going in this digital realm. Why not? Wouldn't there be a digital gold? And we've had one in the making for a while. It's called Bitcoin. And people are waking up to it, I think, day in, day out. And we're seeing it play out in the price action, just from October 23rd to now. We've come from 25,000, 30,000 Bitcoin, $30,000 Bitcoin to 51,000. That's just in a few months' time. Okay. And we could see on October 23rd, this date right here, we broke through this critical resistance right here of 31,000, basically 32,000. Look out. I mean, we just absolutely exploded. There's a lot of evidence right here on this candle, way over here on the left-hand side. This was BlackRock and big institutional players coming in. I mean, look what's happened to the price after. Wouldn't shock me at all, right? That's exactly what happened. And again, in order for the price to go to from 30 to 35,000, literally in a day, people like us don't make the price move like that, right? We don't have enough money. But BlackRock does. Fidelity does. So I think they've been buying since around 30,000. I think they've been probably buying even before then. And again, BlackRock doesn't come into the game to lose. They come into the game to win, right? So buying Bitcoin now, I still think is probably the best bet in all of crypto. None of it's financial advice. We're all speculating on a new asset class, but if you want to take the less risk path, I think it's just dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin on red days. If you have the means to do so, increase the buys. That's how I'm playing it. I'm just a dude on YouTube, though. Don't listen to me. Make sure you do your own homework and research. But I appreciate you guys. That's all. Kind of a long video here, but appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. We've covered a lot here, and that's what we're kind of expecting here with the price of Bitcoin. We'll be keeping tabs on this, so make sure you guys are staying locked in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button so I know you're here, and we'll see you in the next one.